It turns out we've had another defection in Trump's Manufacturing Council. Earlier today, CEO of Merck, Kenneth Frazier, resigned from the President's American Manufacturing Council in protest of Trump's response to the violence in Charlottesville, Virginia. Now, at first, Trump decided to blame many sides for the violence that killed one and injured at least 36 others. In fact, let's take a look at his response here.
But we're closely following the terrible events unfolding in Charlottesville, Virginia. We condemn in the strongest possible terms this egregious display of hatred, bigotry, and violence on many sides. On many sides. What is vital now is a swift restoration of law and order and the protection of innocent lives.
Many sides. Many sides. Seriously? Many sides. So you're not going to blame the literal Nazis in the streets that are running people over? No, he's going to say that it's the fault of many sides. That was, I believe, on Saturday. Now, in response, of course, to that super weak sauce statement on that, Ken Frazier, after announcing his resignation, tweeted out, "As CEO of Merck and as a matter of personal conscience, I feel a responsibility to take a stand against intolerance and extremism." So, that's his tweet. Again, he resigned. He's no longer part of that council. So, how did Donald Trump take it? Not very well, because he's a man-baby child. He tweeted out, "Now that Ken Frazier of Merck Pharma has resigned from Drug Manufacturing Council, or President's Manufacturing Council, he will have more time to lower rip-off drug prices." Okay. Hey, moron, you're the one who's actually supposed to try to make that happen. Now, I didn't see you pushing for a bill to pass that. I'm just saying. Maybe you did. Maybe you supported the Bernie Sanders bill that would have, allowed us to buy cheaper drugs from Canada. Oh, great. Now, if you supported that, awesome. Ted Cruz also supported that, and I give him credit for that because it's smart policy and it's actually going to do something good for America. Now, of course, look, okay, on what's good for America. Drug prices are insane. We know that. It's a ripoff, and he's absolutely right on that point. And again, I've commended that for his point. However, it seems to be very convenient that now you start talking about it again right after he criticized you. Very interesting. Now, later on, of course, after considerable pressure, Trump did hold another press conference where he said racism is evil and those who cause violence in its name are criminals and thugs, including the KKK, neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and other hate groups that are repugnant to everything we hold dear as Americans. So Trump later on is like, "Oh, yeah, my bad. I didn't actually call out the white supremacists, so I'm going to have to do that. Oops." But look, make no mistake. I believe that this was forced on him. Now, his original statement was so incredibly weak sauce. Again, he was blaming many sides without calling out what sides it is. Now, look, during the campaign, he was like, you got to call it radical Islamic terrorism, right? You got to call it by name. You got to call it by name. President Obama won't even call the problem by name. That's interesting. Well, you're president. White supremacists and neo-Nazis are the problem. And yet, at first, you refuse to call them by name. That's weird. Now, again, super weak sauce. So I don't think he actually got a lot of pressure from not only the media, but his aides, probably some people at Fox News that he talks to. And they were all telling him the same thing. Dude, you got to come out with a strong statement. You actually have to repudiate Nazis. Oh, yeah, I guess. In fact, here's a video of the mooch out there criticizing Trump's statement.
Yesterday. If you were White House Communications Director yesterday, would you advise he give that statement?
Well, I wouldn't have recommended that statement. I think he needed to be much harsher as it related to the white supremacists and the nature of that. I applaud General McMaster for calling it out for what it is. It's actually terrorism, and whether it's domestic or international terrorism, with the moral authority of the presidency, you have to call that stuff out.
But the question is why?
Okay, he's going to ask. The question is, why didn't he come out with it sooner? Well, that's a very good question. I wish I had an answer for you. But look, Scaramucci, pretty strong statement. Although I guess you could be like, well, dude, he did get thrown under the bus by Trump. So I don't know. But nonetheless, I do want to give him credit anyway, as well as General McMaster for saying, hey, man, this is terrorism. This is awful. We're condemning it in the strongest terms. And, of course, you had a lot of Republicans out there that were also coming out strongly against this and also criticizing Trump for his weak-ass statement. So he was feeling the pressure from all sides, and that's great. I love it. Now, you also had others in the business community making statements like this. Quote, I support Ken Frazier's decision. This is Meg Whitman, CEO of Hewlett-Packard, sent a tweet. I'm thankful we have business leaders such as Ken to remind America of its better angels. Now that, I would definitely not go that far. Again, drug prices, kind of insane. You could do something about that. But again, profits over people, I guess. So, and I think that's a fair criticism. But, and look, in terms of optics, for his company, that's a grand slam. It's a slam dunk. Okay, that's two different sports, I realize. You could even say it's a touchdown. Of course, it makes sense. Yes, your president doesn't call out explicitly the KKK, at least until 2 days later. Yeah, you should pull out and be like, distance yourself. Because like, hey, man, no, that's super easy to criticize white supremacists. Like, everybody hates them. Slam dunk. Slam dunk. In fact, after this happened, after he decided to pull out, Merck's stock jumped immediately. It rose nearly 1%, which is the biggest jump in nearly a month. So, I'm just saying, a lot of people were like, oh, he left that council, the manufacturing council, because of Trump's racist ass. We're going to buy some stock. And now, of course, like I said, Frazier is joining former Uber CEO Travis Kalanick, Tesla CEO Elon Musk, and Walt Disney CEO Robert Iger, who also departed the President's Strategic Policy Forum back in June for different reasons, of course. Elon Musk, he left because Trump pulled out of the Paris Climate Accord. I forgot why the Uber guy left. I think maybe over immigration. So, yeah, there's a lot of people that left these forums. At first, they were like, okay, we can work with Trump. We don't like him, or some of us don't like him, but we can work with Trump. And, we can do that, maybe do a little business. And then they find out just how horrific this guy is. And like, I can't work with this guy. But, so now here's the problem with some of the left in the corporate media. Now, look, it might have sounded like I'm praising this guy, but I'm actually not. And I actually have a problem with people going, oh my God, this is the best decision ever. We now love Merck. No, that's ridiculous. Look, you shouldn't go to Gold Star for distancing yourself from a president who is okay with white supremacists. Now, I know he said he didn't, or he's not, but again, this is a pattern with him. Only under extreme pressure does he try to distance himself from these white supremacists, these hate groups, okay? And look, here's the thing. We know why all these different companies joined, Elon Musk and Tesla included. I like Tesla. I think they're doing good work. But they're still a corporation. They're still out there primarily to make money. So, Elon Musk, he goes in there and he says, hey, man, I'm going to work with you. And maybe I can get my agenda passed. But also, if we get a few tax cuts and incentives our way, I wouldn't mind. Because it's business. They want to get good deals. So they work with the administration. So maybe they'll lower their taxes. Maybe get us some sweetheart deals. A little bit of deregulation thrown in. It's good for business, right? But at this point, now, like GE is one of the only ones left, okay? Trump's too toxic for most of the business community. And that says something. Now, why did it take 2 days for the president to denounce white supremacists? 2 days. It took 2 days. And at first he blamed many, many sides. You saw the video, right? Look, denouncing Nazis should be a layup. A slam dunk, hole in one. Again, more sports analogies, right? It's the easiest fucking thing to do in the world. So why did it take 2 days for him to do it? It's not like he's not on vacation. He's on vacation, literally right now in Bedminster. He's got nothing better to do. Was he too busy golfing? No, if he's paying attention, he should be like, oh man, this is a really bad situation. Oh, the white supremacists and the KKK? Well, they're terrible guys. And I denounce them wholly 100%. 2 days. Again, this is a pattern. And I think we already know the answer of why it took so long. And that, unfortunately, is probably the worst thing about this entire story. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.